In this next lesson, we'll be looking at scatterplots and lines of best fit. A scatterplot is a collection of ordered pairs, and it's used to represent the relationship between two quantities. For example, in the graph you see here, the blue points are the scatterplot, and they're showing the relationship between a person's age and their yearly income. We use a couple of different words to describe scatterplots, and we look at their correlation. If the points generally have a trend of going upwards as you look at the graph from left to right, we call that a positive correlation. This relates to slope in that if I tried to draw a line through these points, that line would have a positive slope. Similarly, if you had a scatter plot where the general trend was that the points were going downwards, as you looked at the graph from left to right, that would have a negative correlation, just like a line that you might use to approximate that data would have a negative slope. Now, if we had data that ended up not having a correlation, what would happen would be that the points would kind of be all over the place. You wouldn't really know where to make a line if you were going to try to do that. One other description we sometimes use for correlation is strong versus weak. So you might have points that are really close to being a straight line, although they're not exactly a straight line, and we would call that a strong correlation. Whereas if the data points were more spread out, but they still had that trend, we would call that a weak correlation.